Bolt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually been like because I was out of town all last week in WWDC land, so I haven't built anything new in any capacity over
Yeah.
the last week. So it's probably been a good 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna well, until we get questions, if we get questions, I'm gonna show how the prompt I hope works. So we're
Yeah, and
gonna
real
see
quick,
Bolt
let's
soon.
just like introduce
Yeah.
who we
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
and
Let's do that.
what
Yeah,
it is we're
I'm
doing
already
here.
getting into action. Yeah, yeah,
You're ready to build.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're RevenueCat. I'm Charlie Chapman. This is Perttu. I'll let you pronounce your name correctly because I always do it in a bad American way.
Yeah, Perttu. I think
There you
your
go.
pronunciation
And
is pretty good.
it's all right. All right, good deal. And we are developer advocates at RevenueCat. Um, and RevenueCat is a sponsor, and we have a category in the Bolt world's largest hackathon that's going on right now. And so a lot of people are trying to integrate RevenueCat and monetize their apps that they're building in Bolt. So we just wanted to kind of uh, do a little Q&A for anybody who's running into issues or has questions um, related to doing just that. So as Perttu already sort of alluded to, he's ready to go just to kind of demo everything. And we'll just kind of run through that. But the whole point of this thing is just to answer your questions. So if anybody has any questions, any technical support issues that they're running into, you can throw them in the chat. You can throw them in. There's a questions section down there as well. This all came together pretty quickly, so I don't anticipate a huge amount of volume. So I'll be keeping track of both of those channels. So either place you want to throw questions, please go ahead and do that. And yeah, we can answer your questions live. But until those kind of come in, Perttu, you can just start demoing how you've
Yeah,
integrated RevenueCat in your Bolt projects.
yeah. Let's do that. I'm gonna share my screen, or let's see. Let's first share my window. Just the window, yeah. Oh yeah. So now you can see a blog post that I wrote that is basically
Perfect.
the base for it. And I'm actually just gonna come here to copy the prompt that I've used, and let's see if this how well this works. But instead of this time being cat pictures, I don't know, let's do dog pictures. Let's see where we
Can
get.
you can you
Make it,
command plus and maybe make
yeah,
your window a little bit wider so it's
yeah,
easier to read and takes up more of the screen?
yeah. Better not? I guess so.
And the context for this is you wrote a blog post that goes through
Yeah,
how to add RevenueCat into your app using Bolt. And in
yeah,
that blog post, you just have a straight prompt that you use to kind of get people started. And is the
yeah.
idea that they can tweak this prompt to
Exactly.
make it
Yeah.
work for the app that they're trying to build?
Yeah. So let's see. Maybe bold is actually better because it seems to have line wrapping, but uh it does two things, or it like, well, it does multiple things, but it builds two views. So feed and profile, which are supposed to show doc pictures in the feed, and then in the profile you can see if you subscribed. And there's some limitations or restrictions, like show 15 cat pictures and only two are fully visible. The others should be like semi-transparent with an overlay that says subscribe to unlock. And then it's telling it to install certain packages. And these are the RevenueCat's SDKs. So there's two ones. There's the purchases one and the purchases UI one. And the first one is the one that powers all of the in-app subscriptions. While the UI one is the one that is then used, for example, paywalls. And the first version that I did actually didn't use this one. Because I technically would have been we have like LLMs have mostly learned the old way of doing things. So I thought that okay, maybe that would be easier. But I tested this out and it actually pretty well supports the RevenueCat purchases UI now as well. And uses it correctly, which is actually pretty cool. And then it also there's like in addition to that, it talks about adding like one monthly subscription. that is going to be used. This is technically not needed here. It's just like it hard codes the value if you want to use it later on. And there's some logic that where you should put down things and do not mock purchases or subscription list. Use real RevenueCat methods. Because if you don't put this, for some reason, it comes up with its own mocks for these things. And does it, and then it's just like additional constraints, avoid backend integration or persistent stores, rely on RevenueCat SDK only. So let's see how this works out. No, I'm not going to tell a little bit about myself now. Just going to see if we can get something out. So,
and here you're doing it in the initial prompt.
Yeah.
If somebody already has an app,
Yeah.
can they use this same, like those sections of the prompt to kind of try to add this into their app that already exists?
Technically, yeah, that's exactly what should happen. So we created an Expo app, which we can see from the layout. Let's see first if it gets the dependencies right. Yeah, it got the right dependencies. So that's a good thing. That's a promising start. And it's spitting out a lot of code, but let's see. One thing that I'm pretty sure is not gonna work is it's not gonna be able to preview the app here in the web UI, and that's because the Expo Go preview here expects you to have like a Expo web application, and those simply don't like work yet with RevenueCat purchases, or at least they cause some errors. So I think we might see an error here, but if we then open it up on the app, I'm pretty sure we'll see something workable. Let's see, unless we run into some problems.
So you're talking about previewing it in the browser, you mean?
Yeah, preview, because there's the preview here and says the preview will appear here. That's probably not going to work. Like in my previous testing that I've done it, this usually breaks for some unrelated reason, but it will still give you the QR code on the device preview once the code is done. Okay, now preview your own mobile app, install Expo Go. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna just quickly scan that.
And then this is using the Expo Go app
Yeah,
in the App Store to preview
exactly.
the app that was built in Bolt.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at least loading, so that's a good thing. Something seems to have gone wrong, but don't know yet not what that is. Use subscription status or no modules in the context. Well, that's a weird error. Let's see, maybe there's it's asking tabs index.ts. And what is the use subscription status? Hooks? Do we have that? We have the hooks, yeah. But what is then missing? Well, let's see. I guess we have to do just regular old debugging. Use subscription status. That is there. That's weird. I'm just gonna do it real quick and take this
Now,
code from here. This
is this the
isn't
kind of thing where you can just ask Bolt?
Yeah, I guess we're good. Let's see. Attempt fix. Because now it's getting the doesn't seem to be
It has
linked.
the
Yeah,
full error.
that one I was expecting. So this might come up, but it's mainly because we're trying to use like a web version of it, and that will most likely break because React Native purchase isn't supported on the web, but Expo apps of course can work in web as well. But we should still be able to get a preview. So, terminal error. Did it actually try to fix anything, or is it just thinking now?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Bolt is trying to resolve the problems. Let's see. No modules in context. Okay, let's see what it did now.
Oh, Carlos said in the chat, it's missing the default export.
Default export. Oh, was it importing by default? Let's see. No, this should be named export. It's also now it's making like web versions of these components. Well, so that's one way to solve it. But I'm not sure if that's actually gonna work. So let's see. Cannot reuse initial versions undefined. Okay, so so that is undefined on the root layout. Oh, like the imports.
Was it still in the process of building?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. We went from 5 errors to 7. this is also
Going in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah, now I know. Okay. That is actually true. Yeah, default export is missing on these. So index.ts. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I thought that we're talking about a different. No, that is correct. What is this one? Export default function. No, this one has it as well. And this one as well. Wait, what is the problem then? Tabs.index.js. It should be export default, right? Do we have who was it who commented?
Carlos.
Carlos, yeah. Carlos, can you point me which file is the default export missing? If you noticed it.
Can you also Carlos is typing. I know there's also the Bolt has the is it called discussions?
Yeah, let's do that.
Just from your logon screen is what Carlos said.
My logon screen? Or what is the
I'm not
what
sure.
is the log?
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have a logon screen. Well, let's ask. Let's see if this works. Can you tell me more about this error?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the one of the big pitches of Bolt is that you can just talk to it about the problems you're having.
Yeah. Like based on this, I think it should be in this file, but this seems to have all correctly. Oh yeah, now it's giving like or temporary issue with development server or bundler. Can I actually restart? Oh, I can. Okay. So let's see if it's about that. That I just need to. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, look at that. We got a preview. So
Yeah.
you just had to try again?
I just have to restart the server apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparent. That's what it looks like. We have it here now, yeah. So this one works. But if I'm trying to load the web preview, the device preview, that doesn't work. So I wonder what's going on there. Use subscription status. So something is wrong in the indexed file still. Wait, how is this even possible to? Oh, okay. So I don't know, Jolly, how much you know about React Native, but I think we now have a very weird problem where we have use subscription status is somehow used in correctly in web, but completely wrong in the mobile for some reason. Although despite being imported correctly, yeah. We're getting here that Expo Go app detected using RevenueCat in preview mode, so that's a good thing. But then this one is confusing because this is saying that our index.file that we have in the tabs folder is missing a default export, but it seems to be there. What wondering if there's a let's see. Well, let's ask it again. I guess we can just try to. What is wrong? Plain and simple. Let's see if that works. This was funny because like 2 hours ago I was testing this before and it worked with the cat pictures. So I'm now wondering if it's like if the cat like as soon as I ask it to use dog pictures, everything breaks.
Oh, it's something specific with dogs.
Yeah, it has to be. And wait, aren't you talking about the wrong file? Oh, okay. Actually, there's multiple errors on this one. Check what is wrong in these. Let's see. Let's ask it to check all the files. Oh. Oh, I can't edit this while it's thinking, although it's not giving like a preview. That is interesting. Well, I guess
There
we
you
can
go.
also just clear expo cache. Okay. Well, let's do that. Let's once again do that and just do that. And then reload. Okay, so web view works, or web version of the app works, and it's just the terminal error. Yeah, let's attempt to fix that. While that's happening, I'm gonna actually download this and open it in VS Code because technically I can just run this on locally as well. I don't have to uh, do it in Bolt necessarily. So I'm quickly
This is
running out.
taking the whole project that was generated by Bolt and pulling it
Yeah,
into
yeah, just
onto
giving
your
me like
computer.
giving me uh, a folder that has all the files. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's actually install dependencies. So it seems like Bolt is now trying to fix everything by reinstalling everything, which could help. That is, I don't know. I guess it's a very common thing in JavaScript world that you just have to at times just delete all the dependencies and reinstall them, which makes
Yeah.
it sound like a very shaky system, but or maybe it's not. New update available, downloading. We're once again getting the web version, so something works correctly. Let's see if I can get the native. Get stuck on downloading the build. Premium subscription. Okay, that looks a bit wrong to be honest, because it was supposed to use oh, it's still giving us the hey, now it actually worked. Yeah.
So what was
So
wrong with what
now
just popped up?
I think Bolt just when it was installing the dependencies, it somehow got them confused or mixed or something. Because now it works on the mobile. You can see it. You can scroll. And if I subscribe here, yeah, element is invalid. Expect a string. So let's see what it's actually trying to do when I click on a like one of these subscription things. Because it was supposed to use React Native paywalls for that. Paywall view, okay. And paywall wrapper. So it built its own paywall on the web version completely. And this isn't exporting anything. So, oh, actually, it is exporting paywall view, but is it then using that somewhere? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, this is the problem. That's why we ended up running. Like, Bolt doesn't have RevenueCat's documentation up to date, apparently, on the paywall things. So now it just like came up with its own like version. Like there is no paywall view like this kind of a component. I think that's the
So
problem.
it made its own.
It's trying to show a component that doesn't exist. Yeah, it made its own, so it's hallucinated a solution to a problem. I think if we delete this, things will work a lot better
And then we need to
on the
change
mobile.
where those were being imported to use the RevenueCat one.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like trying to open a model. Like here, if I try to, it opens a model, but it doesn't, of course, have the paywall, and that's because now we come into the actual limitation of Bolt in this case is that in order to have paywalls and React Native purchases, we need a little bit of native code, which is not included with Expo Go. So then that means that it's trying to load a view for which it doesn't have the native code. So it just gives you this that, hey, you've installed the SDK, however, it's currently running in the preview API mode and requires some native modules. All the APIs are available, but have no effect. So of course, like it tries to show the paywall, but there is no paywall. And this is the point where you usually have to like download the app because we're gonna make a development build of all of this. And development builds are just like Expo's way of bundling your own Expo Go app, but with the added native parts that you need. So Expo has a pretty good documentation on this, even on like Bolt's. Let's see if we can find it. Bolt's documentation integrations. Not there. Maybe it's here. Help Center? Yeah. So if you look at the integrations page, you can find Expo, built for mobile devices. And here's in order to get your app delivered to users, make sure you have each of the following. So you're going to need all of these in order to actually deploy like development builds of your applications. Development build is it's a bit of a confusing name because Expo Go is technically also something that you've just developed, but development build in Expo's language just means an app that let's see if they actually have it. They don't actually mention it here, but in their language, development build is something that you use for adding native code, adding packages that include native code, for example, uh, React Native purchases, and you can do this adding here a tab by following this guide, for example. So create a development build on Expo application services, which is it first asks you to install a dev client and then running certain commands. So let's try to do that. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna download the project again because we made some changes to it. So download from here. And then I'm gonna open it in Cursor again. And I'm gonna show how that looks in Cursor and some of the actions that we need to run. So just a second. Doesn't this, Charlie, just make you want to try React Native development?
I do. I do. I mean, I've done it here and there because of Bolt more and more recently. And I
Yeah.
used to be a React web developer for a really long time, so there are elements that I
All
definitely
right.
miss. Oh,
Okay.
did you
So
stop
let's see.
sharing your screen?
Let's. Yeah, I stopped sharing that just because I want to show you my cursor. Hopefully, hopefully something shows up. Failed to publish. Okay, so this is weird. Why can't I just share my? Can I share my full screen then? Let's see that if that works better. Entire screen. Yeah, maybe. This was the problem we had last.
Oh, looks like I lost Perttu. We're having some technical difficulties. Just a reminder for anybody that's in the live storm, which you can go to if you're watching on YouTube. You can go to our. I know we tweeted about it. It should be on other pages as well to get to the actual like official live storm page. But if you're in there, you can ask any questions. Like the whole point of this is to be kind of a Q&A. It doesn't have to be related to what we're talking about right now, but just any issues you're having with
With
integrating
Bolt.
RevenueCat into Bolt. Yeah, please throw them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to change browsers because last time it was also about running this on Firefox that made it work for some reason. So let's see if this works a bit better.
All right, let's give that a try. For sharing your whole screen, you mean?
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly change into the Firefox after logging in and whatnot, but I seem to always have problems with Chrome that it works really well with sharing the Chrome window and Chrome tabs itself, but every
Right.
time I try to show something else, it causes problems, and I'm not sure what's the cause for that. Is it because some like wrong settings, but I haven't been able to find them from what the wrong settings are. All right, I might soon be in two places. Just a sec, I'll be back soon. Yep.
All right.
Bye. Am I?
All right. I hear you. I'll
Yeah.
see you.
All right. Let's see if this one works. Share screen. Allow. And this window. Okay. Ta-da. At least I can see something now.
Yeah. All right. So we're looking at, is this cursor?
This is cursor, yeah. And we're gonna first install some dependencies. I can make this a little bit bigger and we can hide
Yeah, you
that.
can make it wider too. I don't know if your monitor
Oh,
supports it.
I have space for that. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So we installed some dependencies uh, that we needed for this. So next is of course then to check the dependencies that we actually need to we're gonna have to add the export development build. So this one. And then we're gonna do Oh, this would be so much easier if I can actually change so that you can see my full screen. So just a second. Their entire screen. All right, now you should be seeing my entire screen. So
There we go. Yep.
that's way better. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely
use
bump that
Firefox
text up if
often,
you
so
can.
it's a bit confusing, but we're gonna do this build native app for iOS simulator. So we need to edit the eas.json. We could technically ask Bolt to do this as well. It's not something we have to do in Cursor, so we just have to find okay, there is no build section, so it didn't create that, but we'll just add this property expected. Oh yeah, like that. All right. There is the missing comma. So once we do that, we should be able to just run this to start a build locally. Would you like to run Git init? Yeah, we're going to say yes to that. It's going to be initial commit. It's going to ask something that existing EA project found. Oh yeah, because it's the same name. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. Because every project that you export out of Bolt, it's always called Bolt Expo Native Wind. So in real life case, you would probably want to change this to be something else. So that's why we'd like to use your bundle identity, right? Well, let's use the same. And we do comply with the standard encryption services. And then we need to log in. So I'll log into my Apple account. I'll use my own personal account for that. That way now it's giving us something. Yeah, okay. So distribution, reuse this distribution certificate. If you created your Apple account Expo and just logged in with your Expo, it usually gives you like you can just press enter on these. If you haven't, it will prompt you to like install these things yourself or like set up them for you. So it's pretty easy. Expo takes a lot of pain away from handling App Store Connect and Google Play as well. So again, now we're building, and I think we should be building locally. So we should soon see when the build in progress, however long that takes, should show up here on this
And then the
iOS
window that you're moving
simulator.
right now, that is a
Yeah.
simulator, simulating a real device on your Mac, right?
Yes. Yeah. And there we can't, of course, do purchases, like real purchases, but we should be able to test like the paywall and actually get the subscriptions shown up there. If you try to purchase, it will ask you to log in, and I don't think even if you log in, you can't purchase anything, right?
If you set up a sandbox account,
Yeah.
which we have documents for that, documentation
Yeah.
in RevenueCat for that. But you can set up
Yeah.
what's called a sandbox account in your App Store Connect
Yeah.
account, and then if you log in with that user, you can make fake purchases through that
Yeah.
to kind of see it go all the way through. And those purchases will expire a lot faster than if you make a purchase in real life. So it makes it a lot easier to test,
Yeah.
making a purchase and then seeing it expire.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So while that's waiting there, I think we can take a look at the RevenueCat, because we're gonna need the keys from here to get RevenueCat to like show the wait, can I actually move this? Yeah, a bit confusing. Okay, so we recently updated the dashboard, and I'm actually still figuring out where everything is. What's the
Can you
quickest
Command
way
plus and make this bigger too?
I can, yes. Sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Tell me, Charlie, what is the quickest way to find the API keys?
If you go to your project, which you already are on, and then go to
Yeah.
not overview, go to platforms. I think on the bottom.
Platforms? Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's
Here.
here, right? Yeah, there you go.
Yes, here. So we're gonna need the iOS key for now because we only have the iOS app. And well, this is still building in progress. So let's take a look at the use purchases. Here it actually says that you could add it to your Expo, or you could add it to your environment variables. So just creating .env file. But in this case, it's enough if we just do hard-coded value with this one, just for testing purposes. And if you wanted to, because this is of course cross-platform code, so this is now, this is an Apple's a key for the like Apple version, Apple integration. If you wanted to do Android, you would have to do something like if platform OS is iOS, use this. Oh, and Cursor is now asking like that you could do API like this or else, and you could have API key iOS like that. And it's now generating API key Android and saying that, okay, use them like this. So this would be like a way to do it so that you configure different keys for different platforms. You don't have to do this in Cursor. You could also just edit the prompt in Bolt and say that, hey, there's going to be iOS and Android targeted. So please make it so that it uses the correct key for the correct platform in this case. But in this case, I didn't take that into consideration. So it doesn't really matter. There's a small error which we can actually fix while it's thinking about the build in progress stuff, and that's this one. So we're listening for changes in customer info, and then it's like saving that listener and trying to call remove on it, but this is actually incorrect syntax. I think this should actually be like this. So remove customer info update listener like that. Expected argument, or what is that? Oh, let's actually check that. What is the documentation for that? What it requires? Or is it, let's see what this returns. Oh, this doesn't return anything, and this one expect. This one expects customer on listener. But where do we get it? Because this doesn't remove it. Well, technically this is not even needed, but I'll take it from an earlier example that I created. Oh, yes. Okay. So this actually needs to be a separate function. This is once again like slightly hallucinated code, which is kind of weird where it comes up with this. Like this is supposed to call this like this, This is supposed to then call that. What is this? Oh, yeah, that. So this approach works correctly. What this code actually does, because this was the use subscription status hook, which every time the hook is called, it first checks that the user has a subscription and updates the status of it. Then, all right, open this link on our iOS device or install on app. Well, I guess I need to now do this. Okay, let's do big here.
So are you scanning that on your real device?
Yeah. So
Can
the
you
funny
open
thing,
that
like the
in the
kind of
simulator?
cool thing, yeah, I'm gonna. Can I actually do
Well,
it
you got a
easily from here? I
URL,
know that I
right?
can do it. Yeah. Let's copy that. Yeah, we can. So this is
Sweet.
actually a pretty cool thing. I know. Accept and install. Oh, okay. We have to go to developer mode. Thought that this would be in developer mode
Oh,
already. Apparently not.
I mean, it is. Yeah, that the
Uh,
developer section is there. So
yeah, it should be.
do you
Weird
need to
that.
open it in the Expo Go app?
No, it should be just installing this.
Hmm.
Usually you can also ask it to install it directly on the simulator, which is this was supposed to do, but apparently it just created a build. Oh, now it's saying it checks the home screen. Is it there? There's a one bolt example, but I think this is an older one. Yeah. Oh, we do need to do this. Oh, wait. What is the command that it uses? Oh, def. Yeah, that's better.
This is running like a local server.
Yeah, local server, then we're just then gonna connect to it.
And the reason for running a local server is so that you can do the hot reloading. Is that right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
as you make changes in your code, it'll update in the simulator right away.
Yeah. Well, there we seem to have it. We have the doc feed now, so we have to update it. I guess it got confused. Why the reason why it didn't start it automatically is because I've already built this app with the same name, the Bolt Expo starter or whatever, like multiple times now. So it just thinks it's already installed, but it's actually not because it's a different app, but it just has the same bundle ID and whatnot. But this now looks more correct. And we're getting some logs even. So let's see. There is no singleton instance. Okay, so we have to take care of that. Apparently it has done it, or maybe we can just actually. So in Expo, you can always reload the app. And that looked correct. Yeah, store product request receive response. So we're actually now connected, which is good. Now we just need to figure out the correct way of showing the paywall, which was happening here. Where is the component? There, overlay image. And this was
So right
showing,
now, what happens if you tap on one of the locked images?
I think it will just open a model. So
Empty. Okay.
what we want to do is we want to find that model wherever that happens. Yeah, paywall view. Is there a model here? Yeah. is to place the paywall things. Okay, now we get that there is no paywall view. So if we actually look at the options we have here, or maybe this is the easiest way to look at it. Wait, where did you go? There. Is that we need to use the paywall correctly, so the correct component.
And this is the RevenueCat paywall correctly, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna pull up the documentation for the paywall. So that we can actually see what the correct way of doing it is. Creating paywalls. Here's your video. But that's not the one we're looking for. I can actually put it up here. Zoom in a bit. That's how you do it. But the components is the one that we're looking for. No, it's still actually the wrong. It's
Yeah,
displaying paywalls. There.
Displaying paywalls is the name of it.
Yeah. Yes. So we have few options for that. Present paywall, which will just display the component itself, and then RevenueCat UI paywall. And this is the correct way of doing it. So RevenueCat UI is a default export. So we can actually like RevenueCat UI export default. If that was correct. Right. Like that. Okay. That's way better. And then when we have here in the index page, I think it was, we have the paywall
inside
view.
of that modal.
This should be the RevenueCat UI. This should of course match with the one we have here. So this should be also default export instead of what it currently is, which is this. But because we're not touching the web view and we're not really interested in it, we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna just do this. Oh, cursor knows it correctly.
Was that import
paywall?
on
What
the
was the name?
correct place?
I think it should be. But let's see, what was the component actually? Paywall. Oh. Well, actually, let's just do this. We don't need it here.
Right, exactly. Because that component's paywall wrapper is the you got double. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. This way. And it's maybe easier to follow even. Paywall. There. Let's see what we get now. Oh, we actually
there you go. Look
there
at
it is. We don't have to do any configuration. Yeah.
So that paywall that we're
this
seeing
is the
right
component
there
that you only.
That is actually what's set up in the RevenueCat dashboard, which you can pull up, right?
Yeah. So if I can pull up that. Where was my app.RevenueCat paywalls? I think it's here. Yeah. So this is the one.
So if we tweak that,
I think it should now say
make it
get dog pictures.
Makes sense.
Save
and publish.
Draft, and then let's just. Oh yeah.
You got to publish
changes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I want to see. Yeah, it's still incorrect, but we reload. We go here. Get dog pictures premium. Okay. So we got everything connected. But now if we try to pay, it's gonna ask for signing to Apple account, which I'm not gonna do now because I don't have a sandbox configured for this thing. But otherwise, if we were testing it on simulator, it would be also on a real device or in test flight. That would be a bit easier as well. And now it gave us that purchase was canceled. So
yeah, so that popping up was proof that it was initiating Apple's in-app purchase.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Well,
so there we have it. Yeah.
I don't see any questions in the chat or in the questions section. If anybody has any in the next minute or so, please feel free to throw them in there. and we can answer it. Otherwise, is there anything else you want to kind of show off real quick while we're waiting for that?
Good question. I guess we can take a closer look at this. So, oh, let's not make it full screen. Let's still keep that there. Close that for now. So we can actually, yeah, you can see it is hand on close, handle paywall close. It's not on close, on dismiss. So I'm not going to save now, but you might have noticed that when I tried to click on this, nothing happens. And that's because we're not actually not doing anything with it. So if we now save and click on it, things should work. So that button, in order for it to work, you need to have the handle paywall close. Otherwise, you can just drag it away. But yeah. And then there's the on purchase completed. We got the on purchase error. If we want to catch that so that we
Show something to the user.
Yeah. Or don't show anything, let's say, then this
Yeah,
says,
I guess
for
in our
example,
case, we
content.
don't really want to show. If you hit cancel, you know what you were doing. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. So then we can just save that, and we should no longer get it. So that's one. And yeah, this view, I think the profile page also uses is subscribed, which is now currently says that it's not subscribed. So if we go here and we change this to true and actually disable this whole thing for checking. So we're gonna now hard code as if you had subscriptions. Oh, we have a loading state. Okay, so if you were subscribed, you would get this kind of view. You have access to all premium doc pictures. And if we look at this, we can see all the doc pictures without any overlays. That's a weird looking doc, and this one is apparently missing doc completely, but it's close enough. It's just mock data. I don't even know where it actually pulls this, because if you look at it, where was it? The index page here. It does pull doc images from somewhere.
Yeah, they're like local, or no, they're not. They're
Yeah.
going out to a website to pull those.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, I don't see any questions, so I think we can go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully this was helpful. And I think as long as there's interest. Oh, wait. I do see a question. Do you have a tutorial from building with Bolt to closure revenue publish?
Probably Cursor. I think it's Cursor revenue
that
publish.
makes sense.
Yeah. So it has weekly, yearly subscriptions. Like we don't like the current tutorial only does monthly, but nothing stops you from configuring it for yearly as well. It's mainly just adding it in App Store Connect and then RevenueCat dashboard. So you don't actually have to do any code changes there. And that's technically the power of RevenueCat, that you don't have to manually do like monthly things. You can just with the paywall that you have, you can show multiple different subscription options.
Yeah, and to the second part of that question about the token packs, I'm guessing that's referring to like credits or some sort of virtual currency. And that's something that we don't have. Like you would have to build that yourself currently, and we don't have a tutorial for that.
Yeah.
Although we are working on a virtual currency product, but it's not in public beta yet. So we're still working on that, but that is something to keep your eyes out for, though.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, the blog post that I have, it should be pretty beginner friendly. If you have some questions, you can shoot me a message in Twitter. I can improve the documentation on parts that are not beginner friendly. It should be like the aim on it is to be beginner friendly. So if it is not, then that just means that I need to update a few things there.
Cool. Well, thank you for that feedback. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So
Thanks.
thank you all for joining. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you.